Hi everyone.
Hello, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. So
This is
you're
like the first time we're
consulting
doing this.
Google, are you?
Yeah. One of my teachers at the institute that I went to, he
Mm-hmm.
said that, sometimes it's okay to consult Share Google. So yeah, I'm consulting Google how to
Once in a
pin.
while. Because
Yeah.
we're parents. We need as much help as we can get, okay? Let's be frank. Anyway, hi to everybody out there.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us.
Hold it, tap and hold it to pin it to the top. Okay. Tap and hold
Okay.
it. Okay, now where hang on. I'm gonna okay. Why don't ada Ain ni mana Kak Shen? Kak Shen sampai. Okay, why don't
Hello, Amy.
things off?
Okay, so are we ready to chat about this?
Yes, I pinned it. Okay, yes we are. Okay, great.
Faham-faham lah, kita ni exennial mummies, okay? Benda macam ni kena belajar, kena pakai Google semua.
Okay. So all right, let's get it started. We're trying to be online live for about half an hour. Is that okay?
Half an hour. Yeah, if that's okay with everyone else.
Yeah.
Kids are in bed?
Okay. Well, mine aren't.
I made sure my kids are in bed, okay? I don't want them
You've always-
spying on the session.
You've been okay. So here, let's kick it off, lah. Okay.
Yeah.
Apa nama ni? Because I've always how you I wouldn't call it discipline. I don't know. Teach lah. You teach how you teach your children. Because I remember meeting Zara for the first time. I think she was only about 2 or 1 or 2. Was already so.
I actually have a photo of you with her when she was that age. I think the first time you met her. Yeah.
And she was lovely. I mean, it didn't come as a shock to me because I've known you and Abang Naz. I've known Abang Naz since I was that age now.
Yeah.
And you all started dating since you both started dating. So yeah, I mean, like, we don't do dating, but never mind. But when you both started, so when Zara, I was not shocked, but I was delighted to see that she inherited that friendly nature, but at the same time very poised, very proper, So how did you?
Well, since we're talking about the topic of inner strength today, I was trying to dig my brain a little bit and remember what she was like when she was that age. And she's always had this sort of confidence and flair about her. But it's in the quiet moments where we chat with each other since she was about 3 or 4 years old, where she would say, she'd be very confident to the outside world. But then when we were just the two of us, she would say things like, at the age of 4, yeah, she'd say things like, Mommy, I'm fat. Or things like, Mommy, can I please wear some lipstick because you're always wearing lipstick, so should I wear lipstick to make myself look better? So I realized that in some strange way that her watching me and my husband on TV kind of gave her this unreal expectation that she had to also be the same. So she would watch me and then think, so my mommy is always worrying about her weight. My mommy is always putting makeup on. So she felt like she couldn't be who she was without following suit. And then people would go up to her in public and then pinch her cheeks. Oh, you're so cute. One day you're going to be famous like your mommy and your daddy. That's putting a lot of expectation on a small kid. Don't you agree?
Yeah, that never. It's for me with my daughters, it's always been that comparison to everybody else. Everybody like, oh, you look like so and so. Muka dia ni pelakon ni. Muka dia ni macam pelakon tu. It's like
Exactly.
Already have they're identical twins. They're all being compared to each other. Oh, yang ni bunyi, yang ni putih sikit, yang ni it's like. So I always have to remind them that you are both your own. You have your strengths, you have your weaknesses, nothing like mommy. I mean, you are not mommy. You are not daddy. You're not baba. You're not mama.
Yeah.
You're not mama. You are your own self. You know.
Yeah, but it's easier said than done, because Leah, our children, I'm sure other people can relate to this, but our children maybe deal with a lot more societal expectation than the average kid. So, when I was thinking about this topic and I was trying to think, what is inner strength and how have I as a parent actually encouraged my kids to have this? And I really had to think very carefully about what this concept of inner strength is, And yeah, it's about having resilience and being able to stand back after you fail. So that means they have to actually see examples of people failing and standing back up, and then having this ability to be able to heal themselves and be able to motivate themselves, not have mommy and abba always like hovering over them. Oh, it's okay, you can do it, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So
To encourage, but
yeah,
I mean, like, yeah, okay, you fell. Sakit tak? Sakit kan? Okay, now sakit will inshallah go. And you can
yeah,
still walk, and you can still, this is a metaphor, of course. Dah kalau aku teruk tu faham lah juga, tapi what I mean, that metaphor of bangkit balik.
yeah.
This is lacking actually. That
Exactly.
but plus,
When sorry, Leah, I can't really hear you. You're breaking up a little bit.
oh yeah, what hello?
Yes, hello, darling.
So yeah, that ability to bangkit balik, or that need, that wants, that strength, inner strength, kekuatan dari untuk bangkit balik. Hello everybody, sorry. Wait. Assalamualaikum everybody.
Hi, Beatrice. Hello, Fitlia Honey. Hi, everyone who's joining us right now. We're so busy having this conversation with each other, but it's a very deep topic. Okay, I have to admit, I don't even know if half an hour is enough to talk about this. Yeah, but if anyone out there has like their thoughts on inner strength, kekuatan dari dalam, please do share. Okay, we're going to be looking at your comments as well. Yes. Hello, Tiger Biscuit.
I am actually going to try and log on via laptop so that I can see your apa nama ni. Waalaikumsalam Su. Your questions also, please. There's a little tab,
Yes,
like down there. Okay.
not to say we're experts or anything, but let's try and answer those questions together.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's what helps with the inner strength as well, because I and Shani, alhamdulillah, were brought together into this group of moms yang all, pretty much the same goal. We all wanted to get closer to our children. We want to be able to help lead our children to the better path.
Yeah, we were struggling together.
Exactly. Working mommy, stay-at-home mommy, so all doing that, homeschool others. So, we have the same goal. So I think that's one thing that contributes to that inner strength as well. I mean, for mommies,
yeah,
to encourage in their children, that support system where we're not babying each other, we're not babying our children, at the same time, I don't know, that berpimpin tangan concept, I'm not gonna
hand hold them.
But sekali boleh lah pegang, grab,
But Leah, this is also a bit of a controversial topic, because there's this common criticism that we've heard, right, about the current generation of millennials, okay? And I think this is why this topic is such an important topic to discuss right now, because I have a business. The people that I hire are millennials. Okay, and so they get a lot of criticism, and they complain to me about it sometimes. They say, Kak, kenapa orang selalu cakap kita ni macam snowflake? Kenapa orang cakap kita tak ada kekuatan diri? Kenapa orang cakap kita lemah semangat? And unfortunately for this generation of kids, they have actually grown up. I think society has kind of failed them. They grew up in a time where people were telling them, let me give you an award for coming last. There's no such thing as failure. if you fall down, oh, la, kasihan you, I baby you, like, until you have forgotten how to get back up on your own without someone picking you up. And so I've had lots of opportunities to talk with my team of millennials about this. And I feel they've been unfairly criticized, but at the same time, I see how, as a society, we have jointly failed them. So now that I'm a parent of my own kids, like they're Gen Z, right? Gen Z. I feel like we have the benefit of hindsight. Like, we can see what different parenting techniques throughout the years have created, and how we actually have this benefit of being able to do something for them, bring balance to the situation. Kan?
Yeah.
Like how were you raised? How did your parents raise you? Were they really tough on you?
Funnily, no. I certain things. There were certain things like, I suppose, the balance of it all. My parents were well, they call themselves hippies. Call themselves hippie, and we are convinced. All four of us sisters were convinced that my parents truly are hippies, because they're the kind that encourages art with your talent, and you don't have to straight A's and everything, but at the same time, you don't have to have straight A's, but at the same time, my mother was very about making sure that I scored in what I excelled at, English. The other, like, which I read books for my age and stuff like that. I remember my trial SPM 2. I was the highest in the class. I was highest in the whole form. Trials, right? That form 5. I got the highest, but it was 2. Really that difficult. She didn't. You know what I mean? So that's how she was, I'm going to speak to you for 2 weeks because you know what I mean? The one thing that you excelled at and you did not excel, so di macam tu. So exactly. So they were those kind of, but at the same time, they didn't penalize me for not being a whiz at math, or science, whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, and how I conducted myself, how I became in public. Now that they were strict. That one, especially because my father grew up in a very strict school. Certain things are done by the sisters in the house, certain things are done by the brothers in the house, but everybody had shared chores, and this is how you conduct yourself here. This, like macam bila jumpa orang, bila dekat rumah macam mana, bila and like all of us could cook at a certain age. So that forced independence, like macam okay, I want to be an independent woman of the world. And cool, how are you going to survive? Oh, we have a question. One is what is the one advice you would give young mothers on bringing up amazing kids? Oh, mashallah. Are you
that is tough. That's a great question. At the same time, it's really scary question to answer because, it's assuming also that we know what we're talking about. And the truth is that we don't. We are all in this together. We're all trying to bring up amazing kids, right? But I think, but at the same time, I think you got to go back to what exactly is amazing kids, right? Look at the kids of today, right? I think all of my kids' classmates, all of their friends, their parents are trying to raise amazing kids, right? They're sending them for really good schools, sending them to tuition, sending them to enrichment centers, sending them for swimming and tennis. And when the kids come back at the end of the day, they're exhausted, So in terms of opportunity, they have all of these opportunities, but I'm just wondering, are the parents also thinking about how, apart from all of these activities they're giving them to become amazing on the outside, what are we doing for the kids on the inside? That's the tough question. I think none of us really know how to answer.
It's that ties into the next question. Kyrene, what would be the best way to get emotionally strong children? Okay, sebenarnya lah kan, I'm going to speak a bit in Malaysia. Dia sebenarnya kan mentally and emotionally strong children ini, dia punya akar tu adalah daripada ibu bapa yang mentally dan emotionally strong.
Yes.
You know what?
I agree. Yes.
Kalau dia setiap hari dia orang tengok mak menangis, terisak-isak, bapak stres pasal kerja and everything, itu memainkan peranan yang agak berat juga untuk anak-anak kita. Because kalau kita adalah budak, dia orang tahu apa. Memang dia tahu apa, tapi dia orang sangat-sangat faham the emotional language, you know, and that is fitrah, you know. We
Yeah.
can't. So that vibe that you get if you go home and you're exhausted, they can tell.
Yeah.
You know.
They are learning more from watching us and how we respond to our stress and how we respond to our failures and our disappointments. That's where they're learning from.
Yes. And that's where, for me especially, because I grew up a very angry child. Don't know why. My parents
Can't tell.
are amazing, but I'm like angry all the time. I don't know. People attribute it to baran or whatever. But when I had children, mashallah, alhamdulillah, it's God's way of saying, okay, calm down. It's time for you to calm down. Remember what you do, it will, whether or not you mean it to, it will. So dengan pasal tu lah, sekalipun kita control. I think that's why I calm down a lot. Okay,
I saw a really good question, if you don't mind, Leah, from Beatrice. At which point do you sort of draw the line between helping them, giving them a helping hand, and letting them learn on their own? I think this is a tough question to answer because it's about balance, really, isn't it? There are times when you have to help them up, and there are times when you have to let them fall and experience the pain of it. Knowing when to do that, I think, is really tough to answer.
Yeah. Betul?
What do you do?
I don't know. I suppose
Hello, Fazlin.
Oh, yeah. Funnily enough. Oh, thank you, Fazlin. Oh my God, sorry. I baru baca. For me, I rasa macam, I don't know why, but I feel like I'm harder on my girls than when it comes to that, when it comes to achieving the independence. Because as far as I remember, ini bukan belagak tau. This is not me. Ini anak saya, alhamdulillah. Anak-anak saya, anak kembar saya, Azhar. Diorang ni memang dari usia yang sangat-sangat muda. I understood the importance of dress themselves, being able to, tell me what today, apa yang tu. That really hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Because, and itulah, I that's how it is. That find that balance is to actually sit down, because each child ada dia punya level berbeza. Ada anak-anak yang memerlukan lebih pegangan tangan tu. I mean, my twin girls, one is more sensitive than the other.
Yeah. So different approach, right?
Yeah. So I suppose that's how to balance it out, I guess.
I see a question from you, Joey. I see your question, but before I answer that question, I just want to add a little bit to that, and that is, I want to share a little story about what Zara went through when she was in Standard 1. She was going through this experience of being bullied by a classmate. A classmate who was actually a friend of hers would tell her that, "Alah, Zara, awak ni gede aku tak tahan lah. Aku tak suka lah awak selalu gede." So she would come home from school. She started out the school year being very confident and very outgoing, and then towards the middle of the year, after being constantly told she was gede and irritating, it really did have some impact on her self-confidence. So for a parent, I think it was tough for me because, how much should I step in? Should I share with her how to deal with this person who was emotionally bullying her? Or should I speak to her the girl's parents? Or, I mean, knowing whether or not to step in and save her from what was obviously hurting her and hurting me was so hard. But what I did, and I think in hindsight, I think I did the right thing. What I did was I shared with her my own experience of growing up and experiencing bullying at myself, because I think everybody does go through that at some point in their life. So I shared with her my own experience of being bullied and how painful it was for me, and how I wish I had done certain things to change the situation, and how there were certain positive actions that I took. So basically, instead of telling her what to do or reaching out to the mother, I showed her first how she could deal with this on her own terms. And thankfully, it did help. But there may be cases where, you know, the bullies are a little bit, you know, they continue on and on and on, and dealing with it on her own is no longer enough. And I think that's when you kind of have to step in and do something more.
That's good. That's good. Okay, sorry. Sarina Saleh 01. Tak. Saya
Maaf.
tak pula tak faham awak type short form bahasa Melayu. TKPA. Tak faham cakap bahasa Inggeris. Okay.
Tak apa, kita cuba untuk handle dua jenis soalan, okay?
Cuba di situ. Okay. Balik pada soalan Joey Hong. How do you usually motivate your children to challenge themselves to go further? Sebenarnya, okay, ni berbalik kepada kekuatan dari dalam sebenarnya. Dia sebab kita nak challenge macam mana pun, kalau kita suruh dia orang, okay, you kena buat tu, you boleh. Kalau anak-anak rasa macam mana, tak rasa kuat dari dalam tu, kita cakap macam mana pun dia tetap akan I tak boleh. So dia kena dari awal, I silent laptop I. Okay, dia kena kita kena ingatkan dia orang tahu apa yang you suka. Apa yang you rasa, you know, passionate about, that you understand or that you want to learn more. Dan dari situ baru macam, okay, kalau you nak ni, apa kata kita cuba ini pula. Lepas tu kita cuba ini pula. Kita lebihkan. Makin lama. Dia macam, betul. Okay. Betul lah, Asha ni, dia sporty tau. Dia, Daryl, bila mak-mak chat kan. Asha ni, kita dah mak-mak Asha ni.
Betul, sorry.
So Asha ni very sporty, but I'm not sporty. So dia dah macam, saya Allah, kita reti apa ni, bola baling, what? So dia kata, okay mami, I join lumba lari. First it started off with the lumba lari, and then okay, so jom, apa you nak buat untuk kuatkan diri? You betul lah, you boleh tahan. You say okay. So we support lah in the only way that we can. Lepas tu dia dah mula tunjuk minat dalam sukan pula. Bola. I lagi lah, ya Allah, bola baling, bola tu kena muka sakit tau. I've played bola once. That was it. And I'm thinking of all this, you know, scenarios of hitting her face and everything. And then it occurred to me, kekuatan dari dalam tu, nak cuba, kenapa kita ni nak kena, pasal kita takut, kita pula yang macam kekuatan tu. Tak boleh.
Ya. Diorang pun kena rasa sakit dia macam mana, you know, and then kalau diorang kalah, dia pun kena rasa sakit kekalahan. Semua dia kena rasa. It's important for them to learn.
Exactly. Sebab I rasa kadang-kadang the reason why we do not challenge our children or motivate our children is because we are afraid if they fail.
It is our nature to protect them. Kita nak protect them je. But sometimes we have to be careful that we are not overprotecting them, kan?
Yes.
And relating back to Joey punya soalan, mana nak motivate them to go further? Kita sebagai ibu bapa, kita kena careful juga. Sometimes bila kita motivate, challenge them to go further, kita pun unknowingly kita project kita punya expectation on them. And kadang-kadang parents kan, expectation kita tinggi sangat, okay? And then kita unknowingly apply pressure on them sampai diorang pun macam kekuatan diri tu macam we are squeezing them rather than helping them to develop that growth on their own, you know.
Betul.
Yeah. So I think it's a balance that we have to achieve. We must allow them to experience the sports or the activities that they want to do. Find something that they are passionate about and have enjoyment for, and be allowed to fail. Be allowed to fail. Tak apa, jatuh tak apa, kalah pun tak apa. You rasa keperitan tu, then you decide you nak continue ke tak. Tapi kalau you nak continue, you make sure you do your best.
Yeah, that's what my mom used to say to me. You know, I think that's where mine is. Okay, you sure you want to do this? You sure you want to do this? Okay. Tanya. My mom always tanya 3 kali. You sure you want to do this? And then later on, macam tu, okay, you sure you want to do this? And then after that, okay, time. You sure you want to do this? Yes. Okay. Do it. I'll support you. If you know that you know you can come crying to me, but you know you're going to have to fix it.
Yeah, and you can't just give up just because you fail, or you give up because something bad happened. Sorry, babe, you chose this. You gotta live with your decision.
Yes.
So kita kena ajar dia orang macam tu lah.
Yeah.
You know, to have faith in their own decision making and deal with the results of their own decision making.
Right. Okay, so that goes back to a question that
what if they fail and never get out? So obviously, okay, you know what, Leah, this deals with this is very closely related to mental health. Okay, I think we are seeing the highest rates of mental health problems among youth and young people more than any other time in history. Our kids are dealing with pressure not just from parents, from society, tapi dengan social media juga. You know, and their mental health is under pressure. And sometimes they're going to feel like they've failed, and they're just going to get into this depression and feel like they can never get out of it. So it is a really great question. To be frank, they will learn mostly from us, from watching us, from learning from us. So I think we ourselves have to be careful and aware of how we are dealing with our own issues, and then they will take that cue from there. And lagi, we have to be able to have this open communication with our children, so that if they are going through something and they feel like I cannot get out of this on my own, I know that I can talk to my mother or my father about this.
Yeah.
You know, that's the key.
Yeah. Betul. Mother, father, or siblings, because kita berbalik kepada inner strength, and what I mentioned earlier on is the dari dalam tu adalah dari sebab kadang-kadang ibu bapa you know, you come from a family that's, there are certain things that you don't speak to your family about. We're Asian, right? We're very Asian. So certain things that you don't talk to your mother or father. But what I did, and for some reason, growing up, when I was growing up, I was like that. There were certain things that I felt that it was inappropriate to my parents about, but I ran to my late grandmother.
There must be somebody, not necessarily a parent, but there must be somebody that we can trust.
Exactly.
Right?
And later on, when my sisters and my age got closer together, my sisters became the place I ran to, you know, for comfort, you know, and that's what I try to implement with my kids as well, because I have the same number of children, 4 of them, right? So whatever it is, be kind to one another all the time. At the end of the day, kalau you tak boleh lari pada mami ataupun baba ataupun daddy ataupun, you need to run. You must run to your sibling.
Yeah, you must have that person, that one person at least.
Yeah, exactly. Your brother is so far away, but at the end of the day, you guys are really close, right? You know what I mean? That's that inner strength, you know. It's like macam at the end of the day, okay, what would my sister do? You know, or like I
this process, of us or our children being able to reach out to someone, that in itself is inner strength. It's not a weakness to ask for help. That is a sign of strength.
Ya Allah, susah nak keluarkan kan sebenarnya.
Anyway, I just want to say hello to everybody who's joining us, and I would like to say thank you to Tiger Biscuit Mai for allowing us to discuss this topic, because I think it's a really important topic, and I'm glad that every one of you out there also thinks so. Leah, I have to point out this great question that was raised here by Iski. Okay, she says, speaking about being strong, parents have our own vulnerable days. Do we continuously project strength despite the circumstances, or should we be honest about our own vulnerabilities? Iski, you know, I'm sure, Leah, you agree with me because we're on the same page on a lot of things. But for me, I think the best way to cultivate that relationship, an honest relationship with my kids, is being able to show that vulnerability. Like, there are days when I've had a really tough day at work and I feel like I failed and I feel like I just can't go on. And being able to talk to my kid, like to Zara especially, Zara and I have this relationship, being able to tell her, you know, mommy had a really tough day at work today. No matter what I did, I just could not make this work, you know, and it was tough. But I'm glad that I have you to come home to and you that I can talk to. And I'm just going to have to get up tomorrow and keep going. So you see, by talking to her about this and showing her that I'm vulnerable, I'm able to talk about it, I'm hoping that she will feel the same way when she's going through one of those days.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, and you know, I mean, like, it took me some, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm the eldest, I don't know lah. But with my parents, it took me a good 30 years to start going to you know, share my vulnerabilities. Okay, mommy, mama, I ada masalah ni, masalah tu. And then, because my sisters were very open from day one, from echo. I'm not, I'm the quieter one. But when I finally did go to my father and my mother, random thing, that's when I felt, oh, ya Allah, I feel protected.
Yeah.
It's not, and I feel protected. When you feel protected, there's that strength. You know, there's that strength that, alah, apalah sangat, mak bapak aku ada. You know what I mean or not? So like, it doesn't, it's not like you are dependent. It's the fact that that emotional stability, whatever stress that it is that you're going through, you have somebody to, you know, just put your.
But it's true. Alisa here says that some people, they you know, they can't go to anyone else because they only have one kid. There's no sibling for their child to go to. And she also says here, you know, how truthful are you with your kids? These are two very real situations. So if your kid is an only child and they feel like they don't have a sibling to run to, what do? I can't relate because I have only one brother and you have 3 other siblings. And our kids are fortunate to have siblings. But I think, Alisa, the key here is that it doesn't matter specifically if they don't have a sibling. They just need to feel like there is someone in their life that is interested enough in them, who is honest enough with them that they can go to with their problems. Whether it's a grandmother or a mother or a father, you know, I think that's the key. An aunt maybe that they trust. As long as there's somebody there who they feel understands them, I think that's key. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how truthful are we with our kids? Well, yeah. Well, okay, I'll give you an example, okay? Sometimes parents fight, right? Sometimes parents fight. It's not like Naz and I never fight. Sometimes we have really angry fights, and the kids, sometimes they see that there is this tension between mommy and Appa, all right? And they feel insecure, and they feel worried about what's going on. So, yes, we can't maybe talk about what we were fighting about, but I think we can, as parents, go to our children after that and say, look, adults don't always have it right. Sometimes we're not very good at managing our own anger, but you are going to be safe no matter what. Sometimes adults argue and you just need to give us some time to sort it out. But whatever it is, you are safe. You come first. So they just need to feel safe. So we don't have to tell them everything. I think at the end of the day, it's just about the kids understanding that they are secure and safe no matter what happens.
True. Okay, to go back on that fair bit of ini saya belum pernah berkongsi mengenai but how careful are you with your kids? We go up to the problem to yourself, you encourage them to be confident. Okay, so basically 6 tahun lepas, I and my ex-husband had problems, obviously, because I like ex-husband. So, but amicably, you know, there was no fighting, no nothing understood. You know, we treated it like adults. And my kids were only 2 years old at the time. Azza and Asha were 2 only at the time. But later on, when they started understanding, oh, wait, Baba is not, you know, Mama is, wait, what's happening? You know, so like, so when they started asking me like, macam, why? You know? Why? And like, how come? Why are we different? You know, why are their parents different? How come they only have one parent? We have 2. So I mean, well, that's us. But like you said lah, I wasn't truthful is basically how it is. You know, adults don't always see eye to eye, everything. But at the same time, look at your lives. You have not one mummies, not one but 2 babas, you know, and like not one but 4 sets of grandparents.
Yeah.
4 here, 8 sets of grandparents. Do you know what? So it's like much. Just remind them that they're loved, that they are loved. I mean, adults, we go through a lot of nonsense, and memang menipu lah kalau kita cakap, kalau kita ni jenis yang macam, kita nak, I'm sure a lot of people will be asking, nak mengajar pasal kekuatan dari dalam. Tapi kita ni yang dah ke bangka ni, kekuat sangat ke dekat dalam tu? Memang tak.
Betul.
Kan? Tapi apa yang buat kita anak-anak
kids are smarter, and they are smarter than we give them credit for. Anak-anak kita sebenarnya sangat pandai. Dia perasan tau. Even kalau kita cuba avoid the topic, they have a very high sensitivity to these kinds of things. We cannot run.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think, you know, being a parent, I have to admit, I've gone through my life making a lot of my own mistakes, not being able to deal with some of them, even not being very strong myself. But when I became a parent, that honestly gave me a sense of awareness about myself, that, hey, you know what? I cannot behave or layan perasaan just because I feel this way anymore. Because now I'm living for more than just me. I'm living for my children. I'm a living example for them. Saya tak boleh nak layan emosi banyak sangat dah. I have to be strong inside for my kids to learn how to deal with that.
Exactly. Dari dalam kekuatan kita sebagai ibu adalah anak-anak. So, faham tak? This is how we show them lah, basically, you know. It's like, yes, be truthful. Have an conversation, open channel of conversation with your children. Tak kira lah anak perempuan ke lelaki ke. You know, at the end of the day, kalau diorang rasa teruk mana pun kehidupan, I boleh share dengan my mom or my dad. You know, insyaAllah, you know. Hi, Noreen. No.
Hi. Everyone joining us. Hello.
Jumpa sama on IG live kita. So, Alice Sayap. Okay.
Alisa, yeah.
So, focus on inner strength, give confidence to themselves and grooming them strong from the inside. Yes, inshallah. And I really believe that the only way to give them that confidence is to live by that juga. You know, So,
and also, I think it's also to be aware of the pressure and expectation that we are putting on our kids. You know, I really wanted to share, when I was thinking about this topic, I really wanted to share the story about my son, Zachary Aiman, who, you know, bapa dia memang football fan, peminat bola nombor 1 lah. Okay, so he had like high hopes. Oh, saya dapat boy. I nak dia jadi pemain bola sepak negara. That kind of thing, right? So the minute that Zachary was old enough to be be able to put football boots on. Dia hantar anak dia pergi padang bola, go and play, main tournament. And unfortunately for him, my son is into insects. So, so anak saya jadi goalkeeper, okay? And abah dia on the sideline cheering, go Zachary, go Zachary. Lepas tu bola tu went over his head. You know why? Because Zachary Aiman was squatting down at the goal. Dia pergi cari serangga. And abah dia macam, ah! But you know what? This was a huge learning experience for both me and for Nas, because we realized that we were projecting our expectations and our hopes on him, and he felt after that like he was a failure. Sebab abah dia marah. He missed the goal because he was looking for insects. But to be frank, in the beginning, he wasn't even interested in football. It was us putting that pressure on him to play. All he wanted to do was look for insects. And I think that forced us to just accept, okay, you know what? I have to accept that my kid is not going to be a football player. I have to accept that he's a little weird and he likes bugs. And once we were able to accept that, he also began to have a more open relationship with us. He will start to tell us more about dia punya weird interests and stuff like that. And I think that helped him to grow. It helped him to express himself better because, Abba won't be angry with me because I like insects. He's actually able to accept it now. So it was us understanding that we were applying this pressure on him. Once we took that pressure off, he was able to be himself. Weird, insect-loving Zachary Aiman.
I love it.
But we do that, right, Leah? Honestly, we do that, right? Sometimes we unknowingly project that expectation on them, kan? Walaupun kita tak sedar.
Yeah,
Kan?
it's the opposite with me and Asha. You know what I mean? No. I'm always expecting her to read well, to hafal the Al-Quran and all this and excel here, excel there. And then she comes home and like, okay, mommy, I'm doing track. Like every year, sports day, I'm running track and I'm gonna play bola baling. Who are you? Oh my child, I don't have a single sporty gene in my body, okay? But you know, I love the fact that she felt that she could. You know, so yeah. Yes, H.S. Gomez, agree. We need to let our kids grow into their own beings. Exactly. And you know, this child over here, this 4-year-old over here.
Hello, Ali. Hi.
Yes. You top part of his head because as usual, he's running around the house without any clothes on. No, I really
This is the life. This is reality, isn't it?
It's fine. You know what? I feel like he's got a sense of style. So when he goes out, he has his own. I nak pakai baju apa? He's 4. The boy comments on my makeup.
Oh boy. He has inner strength.
Yeah, exactly. Itu betul-betul strength lah because dia berani comment makeup money.
Hey, my kids, they won't hug me if I'm wearing makeup, okay? You know, I'll tell you a funny story, Leah, okay? Until I had kids, I had a real problem with my own self-confidence. I have no eyebrows. I'm sure you know. Okay, I have to draw on my eyebrows. Okay, all right. So until I was 30 and had my first child, I never went out of the house. Nak beli roti pun, kena lah pakai eyebrows. Okay.
Yes.
So I had a real problem with my own self-confidence, and then I had Zara. And when she was old enough to talk, she will ask lah, Mami, kenapa bila kita nak keluar ni, Mami selalu kena pakai makeup? And you know what? That was a real wake-up call. Because you know what? My kid is watching me, notices these things, and she understands. She already knew that her mother was insecure about her eyebrows.
Emotional.
So what was that teaching her? What was that teaching us? Like, my mommy has her own insecurities and her own self-confidence issues, right? So I realized, you know, this is really silly. I'm wasting time every day not focusing on just going out there and taking my daughter out and just having a good time, worrying about how my eyebrows look. So I was unknowingly giving my daughter this lesson that eyebrows were important, when in fact, actually, now that I've got like 3 kids, keluar tak pakai makeup, that eyebrow pun, ala, you know what? That's life. Just deal with it.
Exactly. So, but that's the thing lah. Macam they are the source of our inner strength lah sebenarnya kan. So, I think okay lah, just to wrap things up. Bila kita borak pasal kekuatan dari dalam ni, kepala je nak. Borak pasal kekuatan dari dalam ni adalah sangat, saya syorkan ibu di luar sana ada 2 things. One is to with how I do it, it's that keeping the communication flowing. You know, always check on them, where they are in their lives, you know, now. But at the same time, don't pry, you know, because they need to know that we trust them. We trust them to make their own decisions. We trust them to handle the problems. Yeah. So, but at the same time, they trust that if they cannot handle, they can come to us. You know?
I agree. And I know we're going to have to wrap up soon, but I think in a nutshell, and thank you to everybody for all of your comments and all of your questions. But in a nutshell, for me, if I can share anything about that, just to wrap it up, is the key really is to be aware of what we are projecting onto our kids and the example that we are showing our children. So they are watching us more than we realize. So if we have that self-awareness about who we are, that self-awareness about what we're doing and how we respond to failure and to falling down and getting back up, hopefully that will give them that real living example, number 1. Number 2, the kids need to feel secure enough with us, with their relationship with us, that they feel that no matter what they're going through, they can come to mommy or abba or grandma or their sibling and be able to talk about it. And finally, really, is just for us to be real with our kids, to be vulnerable with our kids. We are the best example for them. And if not us, then who else?
Exactly. Can. Yes.
Yeah.
Huh? All right. Okay, I hope this was helpful. I mean, we got some really good questions earlier. You know, I mean, yeah. Thank you once again to Biscuit for initiating this one. Okay, for bringing this topic up and the importance of actually is really needs to be talked about nowadays. So I really hope that we have more of this. How many borak sessions bicara bersama mama? Okay.
Okay. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody for all of your sharing. And I'm sorry this is all the time that we have, but hopefully in the future we'll get an opportunity to do something like this again.
Yeah, inshallah. We plan to do 30 minutes. We've gone like almost an hour. So, inshallah.
Biasalah mak, suka berborak.
Okay. All right. Assalamualaikum, everybody. Good night.
Assalamualaikum.
Good
Good night, everybody.
Bye, Sam.